John Carl's own network, ABC News, settled a frivolous lawsuit with Donald Trump himself for $15 million. They handed the guy $15 million rather than fight it in court because they either didn't want to lose access or worse, they wanted to curry favor. And these are the people we're supposed to trust to report without fear or favor? This is the esteemed Fourth Estate literally heaping millions of dollars of cash onto a wannabe autocrat? If you're wondering why Americans are flocking away from legacy media, this is why. And look, this should go without saying, but Bernie is 83 years old. He is not running for president, but he rightfully recognizes the anguish that is so present out there. He recognizes the need for leadership. He recognizes that Americans are looking for someone to fight, and he's answering the call. I'm less interested in questions about his political ambitions and more interested in other Democrats seeing what he's doing and meeting the moment with the same urgency that an 83-year-old Bernie Sanders is. If you are half of Bernie's age and you're not going out there and holding town halls in your district, or better yet, holding town halls in Republican districts where they refuse to show up, then what are you doing? If you want to meet this moment, this is how you do it. You give people something and someone to believe in when they are desperate for something or someone to believe in. I had the privilege of interviewing Bernie just a couple of weeks back about exactly this topic, the dangers of oligarchy, and this is what he had to say.
Because, Brian, we are in literally an unprecedented moment in modern American history. When we look at Mr. Musk, everybody has got to understand this is the wealthiest guy in the world right now, worth over $400 billion. You talk about Trump's getting elected and inaugurated. Musk put over $270 million into Trump's campaign, and guess what? He's now the most important person in government. What does that sound like you? Does that sound like a democracy, a government of the people, by the people, or for the people, or is it really an oligarchy doing the bidding of the very richest people? All right, that's number one. Number two, what concerns me very much is the move toward authoritarianism in this country. You have Trump circumventing and bypassing Congress, deciding, hey, it doesn't matter what Congress did. Congress put money into this project. We're going to do away with it. I don't want to spend that money. It's gone. And that means programs for low-income, working-class people going to be gone. Fortunately, the courts are beginning to put a stop to what he's doing. But that is what he wants to do. But you don't have a democracy if you circumvent the legislative body. And then he's going after the courts. You heard J.D. Vance saying, well, the courts don't have a right to stop what the president is doing. No, really? I mean, that's what 100 plus years of American jurisprudence has been about. So you got oligarchy, and then you have this movement toward authoritarianism. Now, to answer your question, what is the goal? What is the end goal here? The end goal of oligarchy is to make the richest people who are already phenomenally rich even richer. So how do you do that? Well, you do that through massive tax breaks. Well, where do you get the money to provide trillions of dollars of tax breaks? You cut programs that working people need. Just today, the House brought forth their budget reconciliation bill, an outline of it, talking about huge tax breaks, the very richest people, while they're cutting Medicaid very significantly. And I suspect other programs as well. So you're asking me, are they going to cut costs for working people? No, they're not. They're going to give tax breaks to the rich, and they're going to make massive cuts in programs that working families desperately need.
Now, I should note for posterity that I managed to get through the entire interview without asking whether or not he's going to run for president in 2028. Why? Because this isn't sports. It is real life with serious implications for people in this country. And look, I get that we can walk and chew gum at the same time, but Republicans are right now stripping away Medicare from the more than 70 million Americans who rely on it. They're stripping away food stamps from the more than 40 million Americans who rely on it. They're in the process of firing people from the Social Security Administration in an effort to dismantle that agency and therefore give themselves a pretense to be able to privatize it. They're firing tens of thousands of federal employees, people who are experts in their fields and yet work for less money than they would make if they were working in the private sector, all the while making them out to be little more than government waste. That's what people need to know. That is what impacts people's lives. And until they know what's happening in 2025, they won't be able to make an informed decision about 2026 or 2028. And that's what's missing in our political coverage. There is so much focus on the horse race and so little focus on the impact on regular Americans. So I would immodestly request that if you want to watch coverage that focuses on what's most important, which is how our politics actually impacts you, then please subscribe to this channel and support any independent media that prioritizes people over horse race coverage, because the first step in a more informed electorate is bolstering news sources that actually inform. Before you go, first, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we're now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they're willing to cater to this White House. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a great way for me to be able to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's completely free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support my work. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.